Hey, Rodela here, aka the world's oldest skateboarder, and I'm back. It's been about 6 months. I got into a fight with a car and I unfortunately lost. I broke my femur in half, broke my hip, tore my bicep, rushed straight to the hospital, 6-hour surgery and the trauma care for 7 days. Had to learn how to re-walk again. But luckily, like I said, I'm somewhat back, walking with a little bit of a limp, but I can ride my bike pretty well. So I'm back on my quest for the perfect bike packing setup. But one night in the hospital, I woke up in a cold sweat. Realized I didn't have a grocery getter anymore. This pizza rack that I was getting rid of had a great little pizza bag. Great for going to the store, getting your peas and carrots and whatnot. Great for beer runs. And now I have nothing. So, scoured the interwebs and found this great basket from OMM Mountain. Couldn't look any better. Seems like it's constructed well. Looks like it's going to hold all my groceries and beer. I mean, it looks fantastic at first look, but you got to do the old rattle check. You have to do the real world test. And luckily, I'm heading up to Yosemite for a few days. So I'm going to cruise around the valley, grab some groceries, hit some trails, see if this sucker passes the rattle test, and see if it's a keeper. So that's it. That's our mission. Let's get up to Yosemite and see how this pickle works. Little fun fact, it's the 36th year in a row visiting Yosemite with my family. You could say it's our only family tradition. Even though I'm a little bummed on this trip that I won't be able to hike the Half Domes and the Yosemite Falls with my family, this old man mountain basket test is going to keep me plenty busy. And to be honest with you, I'm stoked that I can even ride a bike right now. However, I needed a little bit bigger of a challenge than just a casual cruise to the store. So I opted for one of my favorite longer routes, a backwoods trail that goes all the way to the village store. So I wanted to do a little pregame first, so I headed over to the Awani for an adult beverage, a few truffles, and I hopped on my bike, headed out to get my groceries. So I headed straight up those steeps. First hill since my injury, since the accident, since the surgery. And it was tough. Ultimately manageable, but nonetheless tough. Then the fun part. Bombed down the hills, headed towards the stables. Had to visit one of my favorite mules, give him a little scratch behind the ear, and then ride off to the grocery store. Even though I know Yosemite Valley like the back of my hand, once you know I took a wrong turn. Ended up at the lodge. So I figured while I'm here, I might as well go to my second favorite watering hole. Grab another adult beverage and maybe score a nice t-shirt. And then once my whistle was wet, hopped back on the bike, went to the village store. Packed the basket up with my goods, put the old net on, and headed back to camp. So, the conclusion. This basket worked perfectly. Not only is it constructed very well, but again, it's a beautiful looking basket. Carried the groceries and firewood perfectly. It even worked as a raccoon Uber when they drink too much. Definitely a great replacement for the pizza rack and the pizza bag. As a matter of fact, in my humble opinion, it's better than the pizza rack bag. So if you do indeed purchase this basket, and I think you should, you can find the setup somewhere else on the YouTubes. That's not something I'm into. Quite frankly, I don't have time. I only have time to do real world tests out on the gravel, out in the mountains, out in the mean streets. So when you get this, I'm sure you'll be able to find a how-to. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to go backwards on the next video and show you the rack that I purchased to put this beautiful basket on. Until then, bye now.